Hi guys, welcome to the channel. If you like the content, please like and subscribe and click the notification bell. What's up guys? Welcome back. This is day 3 of the progression to the game. So my plan is actually I want to start challenging the bosses. So I want to challenge the first boss, get the demonic ingots so that I can upgrade my workbenches, and then I can start getting to the next stage of progression. Okay, I decided to also start planting more of the blackberry bushes around the third house. So now I've got 3 houses, one for blueberries, one for raspberries, and one for blackberries. So I have 3 separate ingredients for 3 different types of food. When I was building the road, I realized that I miscalculated for the exact measurements for the pathway by the tree grove over there. So I decided to make an adjustment because it was starting to become a bit of an eyesore for me. Yeah, I decided to change it. I decided I wanted to build another farm plot on the third house, which was one of the newer houses, and start getting some ice blossoms going. Because when you build a fridge, you use the ice blossom flowers as a fuel inside of the fridges to keep things fresh and for things to last longer. So, yeah, I just went quickly and did that so that while I'm working on other things, it's slowly building up for me inside of my chest from my workers doing the work on the farms. I know I said I wanted to do the bosses, but at a point I was struggling to decide what to do next. Um, so I decided I actually wanted to build two more buildings so that I could get more workers in there. Because of the amount of things that I needed done already. So with the farm plots and all the trees, and me only having what's it called, 4 or 5 workers, they were slow to do all the work that I needed to be done so far. So I decided to clear up some spots for two more houses. As you can tell, I was starting to get really annoyed with the zombies. So I was starting to go to town because I just wanted to be left in peace while I was chopping trees and clearing the area for the next two houses. And at some point, I was just going to town and just hunting them, killing them because, yeah, they were coming out of everywhere trying to attack me. Like, I probably should have slept and passed the time, but, I was motivated to do it then and there and I didn't want to wait. So yeah, it was probably my own fault for trying to do it at nighttime. That I had to deal with the zombies, but yeah. So after a gruesome night of fighting all the zombies and finally clearing the area of the zombies, I decided to start finally getting all the materials and things and items I needed to start preparing the next two houses. And yeah, only after doing the wooden floors for this newest house, um, I realized I didn't make any doors, so they were the only two things I was missing. And as it was starting to approach nighttime, I realized that more zombies were gonna start pestering me. So if I didn't get the doors done and put them into the house, I would have to fight them in the house while I was busy doing the construction and placing all the objects inside. Oh my goodness, guys. I don't know if it's the same for all of you, but have you guys ever noticed when you're trying to build something absolutely fantastic and you're just trying to get the progression done? Suddenly, there are thousands of zombies coming at you, trying to kill you the whole time. And they just try to wreck you. And you're just like, come on, dude, just chill. I'm trying to build ya, you know? So yeah, the zombies just didn't stop coming and they were just harassing me the whole time. After finally killing so many zombies with Christmas hats, I finally got one as an accessory and I put it on straight away because, I mean, we're in December, Christmas season. Gotta feel festive a little bit. So I ran into a bit of a problem. When I built the two new houses, I didn't realize that with the new changes with the settlement, they changed like you get this blue zone now from where your settlement flag is. Um, and from there, like only if the buildings are within the zone can you actually assign the beds to your settlers inside your village. So I was like confused at first to say like, whoa, why the hell are my workers not going to get sleep in these new beds? So there's a new option inside of the settings menu when you push the C button for the settlement in the village, and it's basically a new feature from 1.0 from the live update. So you have to click the settings and then you have to click expand territory, and then what happens is you need materials in order to do that. So yeah, I had to then I realized from looking at the settlement menu and how to expand, I needed to fight the boss straight away because I needed the demonic ingots um, and some more coins to do the expansion so I could make use of the two new houses. I decided to go back into the dungeon because I basically needed some new equipment in order to challenge the boss. So I was looking also for a staff that you can use to summon minions for you. So with the materials from the spiders, I could increase my max amount of summons. Um, so yeah, I was going to go and hunt for spiders especially, but I figured I would just get the copper and stuff along the way, and I was just using my bombs to explode myself a path through instead of having to walk circles all the way around to continue finding the path to explore the underground. And I got lucky. I found a staff that summons snowmen, and I also happened to come across a place inside where an NPC that was already in the underground was killing a lot of spiders already, and I literally just walked through and collected all the materials for the fight. So with the staff in hand, I decided to quickly equip it, even if I could only summon one snowman. At least I would have one long-range fighter, and then yeah, in this room where I am now is where all the carnage was from the NPC absolutely wrecking all the spiders, and I just came through to collect all the materials. I also find it quite strange that the NPCs don't collect the materials for some reason, but yeah. So usually when you're in the underground and you see a set of stairs in this room and you go down the set of stairs, it's actually a puzzle room with a lot of treasure inside. So when you complete the puzzle, you obviously get all the treasure chests and coin at the end. And because I needed the coin for the expansion of my settlement, I couldn't resist the temptation of going down there. So I went straight in, and then I started to try and complete the puzzle as fast as possible, so I could get the progression going. Because now with having the snowman and more materials from the spider, um, I was somewhat prepared for the fight, but I was also thinking more long term for the expansion of my territory. So yeah, I just jumped straight in. So from fighting some of the zombies underground, I realized that they were dropping an item called the Christmas present, and I didn't know it was a thing in this game during festive seasons to get materials and stuff like that, which I still think is a pretty cool feature considering that it was Christmas and you could get Christmas presents and Christmas decorations from enemies through the Christmas presents. So I decided to bring a bit more of the festive season to my game and plant, put the Christmas tree up and all that sort of stuff just to just to spice up my village a little bit, with some decorations and stuff. So I was pretty happy that I had enough materials from the spiders to give myself a full set of armor, which means I could summon three snowmen as my long range shooters, and also like on the first boss, usually he spawns two portals, which little mini demons come out of, to try and kill you. So at least with three snowmen, they could be just shooting them and just destroying the portals while I focus on the boss. So I was finally starting to prepare for the boss fight, but then during my preparations, right now, in the bottom left corner, there was a notification to say that frozen dwarves were getting ready to raid my village. You know, so typical. You make the next set of plans, and something tries to throw a wrench in all those plans. So, in the middle of preparing for the boss fight, I was now starting to get ready as well to start attacking and destroying the frozen dwarves before they started attacking my village. Straight after I defeated the frozen dwarves, I just went to the spot where I was fighting them and just placed some torches straight down, and then immediately started my first boss fight. Just so I could gauge to see how many demonic bars I would get per fight, just to see how many materials it would take me, how many fights, sorry, it would take me to do the expansion for the base. And I found out that you only get 12 demonic bars per boss fight, so I had to do it a couple times. So with the demonic bars at first that I got from the boss from defeating him, I immediately used those demonic bars to upgrade my workbenches. Because for me, I like the upgrades first. So unlocking new equipment, new items to put in my house and stuff like that, just to improve my overall quality of life first. And then after that, I plan to get more demonic bars to do the territory expansion, so I could get those two other houses fully functional, and then to plan next what I was going to do in the game, especially in terms of my settlement, what more foods and stuff I wanted to grow, and so on. Also, early on in the game, when you fight the frozen dwarves, they drop ice javelins, which are really, really helpful to fighting the boss if you want to get his health down really quick. Because they do quite a bit of damage and you can throw them quite quickly. So while my snowmen were busy shooting it with snowballs and damaging it, I was going absolutely to town with the ice javelins and just wrecking the boss. That's how I was killing it so fast. In the table, I can convert my copper, iron, and gold ingots into demonic bars, but at this stage in the game, I needed those bars, so I wasn't willing to sacrifice or change them to a different type of ingot, because like um, I needed the copper ingots, for example, to make my lamps, the ones that I usually put by the benches and stuff to create more lighting within my village. And then gold and iron you'll always use for certain things. So I always just like to keep quite a bit in reserve, especially with the stage of the game I'm in. I'm still a lot more early game, so yeah, it would have just been a waste. You know how happy I was with this katana, exploring and killing all these spiders and different monsters this early in the game. It was such a huge boon for me because like I could literally like almost 3 or 4 hit anything in this area So it just made everything like a quick sweep for me to get materials, and I was still hunting more coins for my settlement expansion. And yeah, it was awesome. I was just literally just slashing through everything, and it was like so quick. Also, guys, if you weren't lucky to find the snowman staff, like I did to summon the three snowmen, because you can see how handy they are. With the spider materials, if you go to the anvil, you can actually make a staff where you can summon three little mini spiders, and they will run around and attack everything. So you can see how handy it is just to have like the three extra snowmen just going around and attacking things. It just makes crowd control a lot easier for me because they'll be shooting everything and then I can run through with the katana and just slash them all. But you could come up with a different strat, like you can make like a one-handed sword out of gold or iron, and then with the spiders attacking up close, you could close the gap with either a spear or a sword. But if close range isn't your thing, you could always find one of the villages and you could buy a pistol or a machine gun and then buy the ammo, and then you could just shoot long range as well while your um, minions attack the mobs, you know. So if you're more of a long range user, there are staffs that you can craft that also make it easier where you can bounce like ice projectiles between enemies. So that is an option as well. So I was preparing to fight the boss multiple times now, because I needed the demonic ingots to start doing the expansion for the settlement. Because I had enough coins to do the expansion, but just not the ingots. So I prepared quickly for for the fights with the boss because I wanted to try and do as many as possible. So I just waited until I was doing other stuff and waiting until the evening came. So as soon as the evening started, I could summon the boss to fight him because the moment it hits the morning and the sun starts to come up, even if you're mid fight with a boss, he will despawn because he's a demon, you know. Demons don't like light, so it's normal. Also, with all the newer trinkets that the boss was dropping, I decided to make a couple more trinkets just to improve my overall damage, and a couple of other things just to improve my quality of life in terms of fighting, just so that I could get through some more areas faster and stuff, do more damage, have more movement speed, all that sort of stuff. So I was quickly organizing my trinkets so that I was more organized for myself. With the expansion finally done, I managed to start relocating and moving around my workers into the newer locations for the houses for them to sleep in. So I didn't have any more villagers sleeping in my bed in my house anymore. So that was great, and then it also means I have more space for more future workers to my settlement, so that's also a big win. As you can see, the next set of materials I need to improve or expand my settlement again are quite a variety of materials. So I needed frost shards, runestone, ivy bar, and then quartz. So in the autumn region, where everything is like yellow and you get the red and yellow trees and stuff, the underground is where you get the runestone and the quartz because it looks like a desert almost underground. So the desert and the quartz are easy to get. The IV bar you get from the swamp, and then the frost shards you get from the ice biomes, all in the underground area. So it's actually not too bad to get all of them. And also, if you consider this, if I fight the next sets of bosses, or the next one, I could start sending my miner on mining trips to get me frost shards. It's because the technically I would have beaten the boss for the frost area, so it unlocks that material that I can send my miner to go and fetch. So basically, once I beat the first boss, I was able to send my miner now on missions to get me gold, but before it would have been only copper and iron. I decided at this point I also wanted to get two farms going, one for sheep and one for cattle, so that I could also have another area where I could start planting some other stuff. So some like tomatoes, corn, and all that sort of thing. So I was starting to prepare the area for construction. So I was just clearing out some of the trees and stuff like that because I needed more of the other different materials, and with me actively being preparing for the boss, I haven't been collecting wool as often, which I like to use for the blue carpets inside of my houses. So I figured, seeing as I already have a rancher, a person that can look after the animals, if I just create two animal husbandry zones, he could just do the work for me, and then I could just start processing all the wool because it's not like I'm short on blueberries at the moment with all the bushes that I've planted so far. And yeah, so that was the plan. Also, by beating the first boss and using the demonic bars to upgrade my workbenches, I realized that I could make cooling boxes, so I could store my food for longer without it spoiling and going rotten. So I decided to build them, and with me already stacking the ice blossoms, growing them earlier, I already had a system in place um, to start keeping my food fresh and cold inside of the cooling boxes. So I decided to just quickly proceed to do that, and then organize the filters so that my settlers no longer store the foods inside of the storage boxes where they can spoil faster, and to only store them inside of the cooling boxes. So yeah, I got down to do that. I did it quickly. Also, with the overall design, I was actually quite happy with it because I made the two pens, and then like what I realized is I was actually happy that the cattle pen for the cows and stuff was bigger than the sheep pen, because uh, the cows and stuff are a lot bigger than the sheep and they take up a lot more space. And I usually like about 20 of each animal in each pen. So then what happens is when I set my husbandry zone to 20% males, and 80% females, then what happens is I get more milk because of having a higher amount of females, and then at the same time, the males can breed faster with the females and then get my numbers up quicker. So in that way, I can get a more sustainable amount of hides, meat, milk, and then wool with the sheep as well, because I do the same system. So yeah, I was pretty happy. And then guys, let me know in the comments if you enjoy my build design for my settlement so far, and if you like my style, you know. So I noticed this villager that came into my town, and then I quickly checked them against my other settlers, and it was just a regular villager. And if I'm not wrong, the regular villagers only do hauling and one other skill. So in terms of use of a villager for my town, the interview didn't go great, and I decided not to employ them. So yeah. So I decided around the area where I built the two pens for the animals, I decided instead of planting berry bushes around it, I decided I would do farm plots. That way I could utilize the space to grow more variety of crops. So I decided to go with corn and then chilies. I decided to use one pot to grow more ice blossoms, and then I decided to grow some cabbages as well. And then on the other side, I was thinking of doing some tomatoes. So then I get more varieties of different crops. So then that way, with all the meat, the wool, the animal hide, and then all the berries that I'm bringing in, I can make more complex foods. And that way, I could start getting more geared up to the direction of when I start putting my workers and settlers on diets, so they have higher movement speed, so they do more work and chop more stuff and collect more wool and all those sorts of things. I just placed the landscaping station and I was so surprised by it because it's a new bit of content from 1.0 in the game. So the landscaping station allows you to create decorations for outside, like statues or even the tables inside. You can make plates and all sorts of stuff. So I was really happy with the fact that I could, what's that, spruce up my place with a bit more decorations. Obviously, whether I had the materials or not, it didn't matter. The fact is, I was still just happy that I had the option to when I was ready, you know? At this point, I also decided that I wanted to advance my town a bit further by doing a more variety of different things. So I decided to create two windmills and then two composters so that if any of the food does spoil, then at least the workers will take that spoiled food to the composters and convert them into fertilizers, so that my crops are healthier, they grow faster and all that sort of thing. So I'm getting a healthy amount of each different crop, and then also just to advance my town because I need the windmills to make flour and sugar and other things. So it was just a good plan, but then when I originally started placing the two windmills, I didn't like the look or the design, so I decided to relocate it and choose a different spot. So at this point, I decided I wanted more of the fruit trees to be placed around my base, so that I could get more variety of fruits like coconuts and apples and stuff like that because I was quite low on the different fruits. So I quickly prepared, grabbed some blueberries, chucked it into my lunchbox, and then I went straight out to go and explore and see what I could find. And yeah, I got really lucky in this desert because I found a lot of coconut trees. I think by the end I had a total of eight. It doesn't sound like a lot, but considering how little apple trees I ran into the green biomes, well, in the green biome that I was in, I only managed to get two apple trees. Because unfortunately the design for the fruit tree, especially the apple tree, it looks a lot similar to the oak trees in the green biome. So you can't tell if it's an actual apple tree or a oak tree unless it's actually got the fruit on it. So yeah, whereas the desert, you can easily tell the difference between a palm tree and a coconut tree, you know. So yeah. When I got to the village, I was actually looking for a gunsmith, so that I could buy a machine gun from him, and then buy some more ammo. Because I still prefer the guns over the bows in terms of a long range weapon. Uh, s- some magic staffs are still good though. I think it's called the amethyst staff. You shoot like three beams out of it, and it's really helpful. Like for me, late game, the last time I played, it was really good. Like what I would do is I would use it to charge up, because you get these charges on the staffs. And then when I was low on health, I would switch over to the healing staff, and then just use the right click for the power skill, which was the healing sigil or glyph, and I would just use the other stuff for heals and the other one for attacking. So I would just do the attacking the whole time, switch over to the other stuff, and then use the charge to heal me during the fight. So then that way I could not have to drink health potions and stuff during the fight. Hey guys, if you enjoyed the content, please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell.